So hey guys, we are in Bournemouth today with Ganesh. Hey Ganesh.
Hi.
Hey, what's up guys? I'm going to talk you through this mock test where Ganesh got 8 serious faults and 3 minor faults. So we're starting off in the car park just down the road from the test centre, and straight away we get into a situation where he's handling it pretty well because another car's come out as he's trying to come out, but he stopped for them, let them do their thing. This is why it's really important to look around properly in car parks before you try to do anything, and then also come out slowly because you never know, anything can happen just like that. So take your time, look around properly and move out slowly. You should be checking the right there as well before moving on. And then he's going to get his first serious fault pretty soon. Like, we haven't even started the test properly. Well, we started it, but we're not that far into it. But look at his face. You see, he doesn't check the right at all. He just goes into the turn, and now he starts checking the right. But it's a bit late by now. If somebody was there, they would have crashed into him. And there was a giveaway lines there. So you need to be checking both sides before coming out. And that was a serious fault pretty much straight away. And then turning right towards Sterling Corner roundabout. That exit to the car park is very, very
we're going to go
so be
straight
really careful when you're coming out to make sure that you are looking properly. Bit of a harsh break there. Hopefully, I was going to say hopefully that's not a thing that's going to continue, but it is. So watch the way he drives throughout the video. He's a bit rough with the controls of the car, and it's going to affect how the car moves as he's driving. So here, just waiting for a gap. This roundabout can get really busy, especially trying to join it from here. So you have to keep your eyes open for a nice gap, or when people are signaling to come off the roundabout. If you look away for too long, there's a strong chance that you're going to miss some opportunities to go. So it does take some time to get onto here. But sometimes if you have to wait, you have to wait. There's been a couple of times where he's tried to go or thought about going, then he's realised there were vehicles coming towards him. And if I'm the first car trying to join here, I wouldn't be in neutral for this long. I would have my car ready so that if I do see a gap, I can just take it. So it looks like he's thinking about using the car next to him as a shield, which is not a good idea, by the way. But let's see how he does it. Because you can see he's not really paying that much attention to the right. It's almost like he's waiting for that car to move. And you can see how busy it is. But then he looks to the right and then he moves. So that was pretty good. He didn't use the car to shield, he looked for himself and then he went. And then coming off the next exit. So sometimes they'll get you to go to the third exit, which is the one where the bus looks like it's going towards Mill Hill. And now we're onto the 40-mile-an-hour road. Building up his speed gradually into the bend, so slowing down a bit for the bend, so that was good. So approaching traffic lights, slow down a bit for them. once you've gone past them, you can start building up your speed again, because it's still a 40-mile-an-hour road here. And then the speed limit changes. The signs are not that hidden, so you do have to look out for them and make sure you don't miss them, because if you do, you're going to be going too fast for the 30-mile-an-hour section. And the change around here. Still keeping a nice gap between him and the car in front, and shortly he's going to make his second serious fault coming up. Okay, approaching his boss. Good mirror check there before going over to the right, and then another one back to the left. So that's pretty well done. What you don't want to do is just follow the car in front of you going around the bus. Make sure that it's safe for you to go around the bus as well.
Take the next left, please.
So we're taking the next left, but watch how he approaches it. And take note of the car behind us as well. So he's leaving it quite late to brake, but then now he brakes really hard, and the car behind has to brake hard as well. That was not necessary, and that could lead to a crash. If you turn like that, you want to start braking early, bring your speed down early, and then gear down into second or first if you need to. But don't leave it to the last second and then slam on your brakes before turning, because it's an unpredictable way to drive and people behind you are not expecting you to do that. Horse rider there. He's done well to keep his speed down. Okay, that was a decent stop.
Thank you. And then drive on, please, when you're ready.
So watch the way he looks around now. So he's doing his checks over, and he's done the right blind spot check. But then he doesn't check again. There's a long time between checking over his right and then actually moving off. If you do that for too long, even one time, you could get a serious fault. If you continuously do that, then it will turn into a serious. So bear in mind, right now it's a 30-mile-an-hour road. So it's going a bit over 30 already. It shows 29 on there, but on the dial it will show a bit higher than that, which is why I'm checking. And I think it's because he's seen the national speed limit signs and he started to go way faster than he should do before he's actually passed the signs. What you need to do when you're going into a higher speed zone is go past the speed limit sign first and then increase your speed. If you go higher than the speed limit that you're already in, then obviously you're breaking the speed limit. So don't start increasing your speed until you go past the sign. And then this sort of speed is good for this kind of road because it's very, very narrow here, especially with oncoming cars. And you can get quite bendy on here as well. So he's doing well when there's oncoming cars to kind of slow down a bit and cover his brake. And for a bend as well, bringing the speed down. So this is a very sharp bend. So he's had a bit of trouble with the gears there, but he managed to sort it out.
There's a left turn just after this bend. We're turning there, please.
So now we're turning left into this slip road almost, the junction between us and the dual carriageway. So we did well to slow down there. And this is still a national speed section, but now the dual carriageway is going to be 70 miles per hour. There is a nice gap that he's seeing, but is waiting for a van to get closer for some reason. There's a nice gap, but then now he decides to go in when the vehicle is getting closer and closer. And in the debrief, he said he thought the van was turning, but the van didn't signal to turn. And if you look in the rear view mirror now, you can see the van's had to switch lanes because he's got close to us. So he should have either gone earlier or waited for that van to go past. So that was a serious fault. You shouldn't be coming out and making people switch lanes or slow down for you. So bear in mind now it's 70 miles per hour. And he should be going a lot faster than this, but he's not. There's nothing stopping him from going faster. And he was surprised in the debrief that he can fail for going too slowly, but he can fail for going too slowly. You need to show that you can, one, you know the speed limit, and two, that you can do the speed limit if it's safe to do so. Doesn't have to be exactly 70 miles per hour, but not 20 miles an hour under the speed limit. It's not ideal.
Following signs for Boreham Wood, please.
So the signs for Boreham Wood say that the next slip road is what you need to take to come off. So he should already be checking his mirrors and signalling already by now. And putting his left wheel in the slip road, but he's not. So he's had to brake really hard in the left lane, and then he's gone into the slip road. Didn't have to brake that hard there. Remember, you got to drive in a way that's predictable. People are not expecting you to just slow down randomly like that in the left lane and then change over to the slip road. You could have moved over to the slip road and then slow down afterwards. And then now back on the slowish road. So once you come off the dual carriageway,
the next roundabout,
you need to tell yourself, okay, we're not longer on the dual carriageway. I need to drive a certain way now. So less harsh acceleration and less speed as well. So turning left. And you see he's accelerating quite quickly here. And I would have gone through that in first gear. He managed it, but it's a bit risky.
At the roundabout, turn right, please.
So you don't need to signal left to come off at many roundabouts. It's just too much work and it's not necessary. And sometimes it can be confusing as well. There, he didn't get a fault for it because it wasn't confusing, but it's not necessary. Okay, and if you look at the way he's approaching the next roundabout, so here you don't need to be going this fast here or using even third gear in this car. It's going too quick for this area. Yeah, it's a 30 mile an hour zone, but it's narrow here. And because it's going so quick, watch how he approaches the next roundabout. Look where he's
Roundabout,
looking.
turn right, please.
As his car enters the roundabout. So we're already in the roundabout, and only now he looks to the right. But then it would have been too late. If anybody was coming from there, it would have been too late. He was already on the roundabout when he started looking to the right.
Roundabout, turn left.
Here we're turning left. Double roundabout, so you've got to make sure you're treating them separately, checking both of them separately, and stopping if you need to on the second one if there's somebody coming from your right. And next roundabout, we're going left. This roundabout is quite close to the next one, and the lanes here you're going to see.
In the next roundabout, we're going straight, please.
You've got to have switch lanes in quite a short time to make sure that you're going in the lane for going straight, because the left lane there is only for turning left. So that was good work on the signals there. And you notice those signs on the right there saying pedestrians may be crossing on the humps. So one of my learners said they saw a video saying that this means that it's a pedestrian crossing, but that's not true. I don't agree with that. It doesn't mean that it's a pedestrian crossing, because the sign for pedestrian crossings or zebra crossings is different. This is just warning you that people might actually be walking on there. So that doesn't give them priority as pedestrians to cross there. It's just warning you that people do walk over there. So if people are waiting on the side and you drive on, you're not going to get any faults for it, because it shouldn't be treated as a pedestrian crossing or zebra crossing.
Take the next left, please. And then pull over on the left, please, before that car. Not too close to it, okay?
Yep.
Thank you. When you're ready, we're going to use this car to do the parallel park exercise. So pull up beside it and then reverse into the space in front of it. You can finish anywhere within 2 car lengths from that car.
Got it.
Do you understand?
Yep.
When you're ready, please.
So if you remember earlier, he didn't look around properly to move off. Watch how he looks around now. Barely any blind spot checks, so it's going to get serious for that. Before you move off, you need to be checking your blind spot. Just checking your mirrors is not going to be enough. So that level of checking, that's what you should have done before coming out of that space. And then as you're reversing, checking everywhere, over your shoulders, in the mirrors, stopping for any vehicles going by. So that van driver was waiting nice and patiently. So really, it should have stopped fully there. That was a bit close. If someone's going past you that close, like the yellow van was, just stop the car fully, let them go past, and then drive on afterwards. So you see now he's doing the checks. Still, the blind spot check could be done a little bit closer to the time that you're actually moving off. Don't leave too much time between checking over your right shoulder and then moving the car.
And then take the next left, please.
These roads are very narrow and very sharp turns as well. So far, is handling it pretty well. Good mirror checks.
At the end, turn left, please. At the end, turn left, please. Pull over on the left in a safe place, please. Thank you. We're going to start the independent driving now, okay?
Yeah.
So I'd like you to follow a set of directions. At the end of this road, we're turning right. At the end of that road, we're turning left.
Okay.
And then roundabout, we're going to go right, third exit.
Okay.
So what we're doing?
So from here we are taking a right, and then first left, and then from the round.
Not the first left. End of the road, turn left.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
End of the road, turn left, and
Yeah.
then from the roundabout we turn right.
Third exit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
third
If you're not sure, you can ask, but ask in plenty of time. Yeah.
exit. Okay.
When you're ready, please.
So you see, that time that was much better. So just as he's finished checking over his right shoulder and it was clear, then he moved on. That was good. So he signalled very soon there. It was too far away from the junction for him to signal. Ideally, you want to signal around 3 houses away from where you're turning, roughly 3 houses away. That should give you like a good indicator of when to signal. Signalling that early is going to confuse people.
The truck also had a speaker which says turning left.
Did you, it's to warn cyclists.
Yeah, good.
40. So he was thinking about going to third, but then he changed his mind, gone back into second, because it might not seem like it in the video, but this bit is really, really steep. And if you're in the wrong gear, it's gonna stall. Somebody actually failed for this here by trying to go into third, going up the hill, then the car just stopped halfway up the hill. And that was a serious fault. So don't change into third too early there unless you're already going fast. So here the plan was to go right third exit, but there's so much traffic going that way, it was going to take us a long time to get back to the test center. So then I've told him to go all the way around to come back on the exit where that little black car's going now.
Do you know what we'll do? Let's go all the way around.
And while
Come
you're on
back
the
this way, keep
roundabout,
going
you've got to
round.
really
We'll come
pay
back this
attention
way,
to
yeah?
road markings, because he's going to go and
full
stop
circle,
in the
right?
Yes,
keep clear sign, which is a fault. You shouldn't really be stopping here. It's keep clear for a reason.
Keep going round.
That
Yeah,
way.
the other exit, yeah.
Okay, that was good. We've done well to come off there. And somebody's graffitied on that sign to make that 30
Take the next right,
look like an
please.
80, but it's actually 30 miles an hour here.
Next roundabout, turn right, third exit, please. And then take the next right, please.
Now turning back into the road where the test center is. Got to be really careful here. We've got cars. Well, that motorbike came out a bit fast. They shouldn't have done that really, but they did. But he done well to handle that. And then you can get put into meeting situations pretty much straight away when you turn into this road. And I wouldn't advise going too fast down here as well. Lots of things happen here. You've got people parked up sometimes on both sides, people reversing out of parking spaces, pedestrians, other vehicles speeding down from Morrison's. Other learners on their tests, so just take your time through here.
Take the next right, please.
Get into the car
And then
park, you
turn
want to go
left
in
here,
here
please,
nice and
straight away.
slowly.
I'm just going to drive into any bay. You don't have to get it perfect, just so we're out of the way, yeah?
Okay.
So I said to me, just pull up on the left or swing the car into the left somewhere, or any
Front or
bay.
reverse, anyway.
Doesn't have to be perfect.
Front. It's up to you. It's
but
up to you, bro. Front's easy, yeah?
he's going to try to make it perfect. And by doing that, you could end up getting more faults. Once your car's in like this, just stop the car and secure it. But all this is not necessary. See, another vehicle could be coming now and is not looking around that well, and could end up failing for this almost. Just once your car's inside or it's out of the way, just park it there. Unless you're doing a forward bay park, you don't need to do all that. But now it's time for the
Thanks very much.
debrief.
Okay, switch the engine off, please. Okay, so that's the end of the test. Just give me a second while I add this up here. Okay, so how do you feel that went?
That was average is what I felt.
Pass or fail?
That's a tough one. I don't recall any major things that happened. You didn't take control or anything like that, but it's difficult to tell.
Okay, I'll tell you, you got 8 serious faults.
8 serious faults.
8 serious
Oh
faults.
my God.
Yeah. I'll explain them all, but
I'm very eager.
yeah. So you got one pretty much straight away coming out of there, yeah? So we were turning left and there's a car the AA car doing this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've gone past them. Then I told you to turn left. You've turned left there without checking the right. It's a junction there, we have to give way there. You didn't check the right, you just turned without checking the right.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to look to your right there as well, because there's a give way there for cars coming from the left and the right, but you didn't look to the right.
Okay.
Yeah. And then further down, we've gone down that 40 road, and then we were turning left just by a pub.
Yeah.
Yeah. You braked really hard there before you turned. I don't know if you remember doing that.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
that.
The car behind us got really close. They didn't expect you to brake that hard. Yeah. You could have just taken that.
Landed more than what I expected.
Right. You could have just taken that. You braked really hard to go into first. You could have just taken that in second gear. That was wide enough, that turn. It wasn't like a narrow turn. It was really
I recall
wide.
that,
Yeah,
yes.
but you braked too hard there, yeah? Do you remember you said on your last test you got move off safety as one of
Yeah.
your majors?
Yes.
Move off safety is nothing to do with junctions really. It's more when you're parked and then you're moving again and you're not looking properly.
Okay.
You got one of them as well, but it was twice, and that's why I made it into a serious. So what you're doing is you're looking around. The first time you got a fault for it is you looked around, you looked over your shoulder, then some time elapsed, and then you moved off without actually checking over your shoulder just before you move.
I move off.
Yeah.
Okay.
You need to check your shoulder just before you move. Yeah.
Okay.
You done it again just another time where you didn't check enough, and then just before the parallel parking, you didn't check over your shoulders before moving off.
Didn't I? I don't recall this.
No.
Okay.
You didn't, not properly, yeah. And you done it again on the parallel park, but it was a minor way. When you gone to the car, you're supposed to look around again, but you just started reversing, and then afterwards you looked around.
Okay.
Yeah. So you've gone next to the car, and you're supposed to look before you move, but you started to reverse first,
And then
you
I
look.
looked.
Yeah, it's a bit late, but then if someone's next to you, they'll crash
Sequence of
into
events
them.
was not right. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember seeing the national speed limit sign on the country road?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember how fast you were going just before that? But just before you went past the sign? Do you remember me leaning over to check?
Yeah, I remember that, but then I kind of corrected, but
So
I don't remember my speed.
Yeah, you're doing just under 40.
Okay, so
But at that stage, it was a 30 still. Yeah. So you saw the national speed. I think you thought, oh, let me go faster now.
Oh,
but the
just
national
before the
speed
national
starts.
Speed I started
Yeah,
revving.
you're breaking the speed limit there.
Oh.
The national speed starts there, but you're doing nearly 40.
Just before
it.
Okay.
It's too fast there, yeah.
Yeah, that's spot on.
And then joining the dual carriageway,
Mm-hmm.
there was a car that's moved into the middle lane.
Mm.
It was like a blue Audi.
Yeah.
You could have gone then, but you waited for the van. Remember, there was a white van coming.
There was a van coming.
Yeah, you waited until you got closer, and then you went.
But the
You
van
could have
was
gone straight
taking a
away.
left.
Huh?
The van was taking a left. That's why.
No, you took the left after you joined, no?
The Audi went there, and then the van. Okay, I just waited too much for the van to
Yeah,
come.
yeah.
Okay.
So and then we've gone in, and then the van went into the other lane.
Hmm.
When you say left, you mean it's turning into our road?
Yeah, was it turning into our road?
No. He's had to change lanes because of you.
Oh, okay.
He overtook you
I
afterwards.
think
You
I
got
don't
really
recall
close, and he went round you. Yeah.
Got it.
So that's junctions observations. And then on that dual carriageway, what's the speed limit there?
70.
How fast were you going?
Was I breaking the limit there?
No. Do you remember how fast you're going?
Definitely not more than 70, but lesser than 70.
You're doing 55.
55, yeah.
It's too slow.
Oh, but is that a serious fault?
Of course. You can't. If it's a fast road, you can't just go around going slowly. You got to show that you can keep up.
Okay.
And keep progress. Yeah.
Yeah, got it.
It was too slow. And then we're following signs for Boreham Wood. I said to you, let's follow signs for Boreham Wood. What did you do to come off there? If you remember. So you got the slip road on our left, and I said to you, by the way, it's here, yeah? Do you remember what you did? You braked hard in the lane, and then you switched lanes. Then you went to the left.
Yeah, I remember.
What's the whole purpose of a slip road there?
Oh, I actually missed that one. I just thought the left is further ahead, but then it was before.
It was there,
maybe
but
because I don't know the roads.
Okay, but even if you don't know that it's there, but now you know it's there,
Yeah.
the slip road is there. It's designed for you to go in there, and then gradually decrease your speed in the slip road, and then make your turn.
Okay.
But instead, you've slowed down in the lane. Lucky there was no one behind us, otherwise that would have been dangerous. Yeah. It was still a serious because you can't just bang on your brake in the middle of a lane and then switch on. Yeah, it's not safe. Yeah, you could have just signaled and then move over at the speed that you're doing. You weren't going that fast, remember, because you're going way below the speed limit.
Yeah.
So you weren't going fast in the first place. But then to brake really hard in that lane, it just shows that you're not really like thinking about safety there.
Got it.
Yeah. And then we've come off the dual carriageway. You didn't get a fault for this, but you're going a bit quick after you came off the dual carriageway. Yeah, just bear that in mind. Once you come off, you need to tell yourself, okay, I'm on different kind of roads now, and then you should drive it differently. You're accelerating really quickly, which led you to get a serious at a mini roundabout where, do you remember which one I'm talking about? You've gone into the roundabout and then you've checked the right. You probably don't realize you've done it, yeah? But do you remember you asked me, are we going straight? And I said, yeah, keep going straight, and then I'll tell you if I want you to turn, yeah? And then I said to you, at the roundabout, turn right. There, you've gone into the roundabout, and then you've looked to the right. Lucky there's no car there. If there was a car there, it would have been too late. Yeah. And I think that was due to you just accelerating too quick for that road.
Okay.
Yeah. If you're on those kind of roads, you don't need to accelerate that fast there, yeah? A couple of minors you got one for the parallel parking, looking around not properly. Yeah. And you also got one for timing of your signal. So you remember where that lorry was saying this vehicle was turning left?
Yes.
Yeah, on the approach to that, you signaled very early on the approach to that left turn.
Okay, I should have signaled a little bit.
Yeah, closer, yeah, like 3 houses away. But you signaled like maybe 10 houses away, way too far away, yeah? Okay. So that, lucky no one was behind us, because people would get confused. They'll think you're turning into a house. Yeah. Okay, so yeah. I've got some little side notes that are not really faults, but just something for you to think about, okay? signal at roundabouts. So you're signaling at roundabouts, especially mini roundabouts. It wasn't really that ideal. Sometimes you're signaling left to come off. You don't need to signal left to come off at mini roundabouts.
Oh, I can
You
just
signal
not
like crossroads at mini roundabouts.
Okay, I just cannot signal and get away, basically, if I'm going straight.
Yeah, you don't need to signal.
Okay.
But there wasn't a problem. It was when you was going right. You signal right and then signal left. You don't need to do that on a mini roundabout.
Oh,
You just signal right.
Okay.
Yeah, just like a crossroads. Yeah. So think of it like a crossroads when it comes to signaling. Yeah. What did I write here? Yeah, you're just too rough with the controls. Like even this handbrake doesn't need to be. It's only 2 clicks up, but you're like, and then banging on the brake, and then too much with the pedals. Yeah. It gives a rough ride, and you come out of gear a lot when you don't need to. So let's say you're in second gear, and then you're approaching a turn, let's say like a roundabout, and it's nice and clear. You're coming out of gear, so now you're neutral, and then you're having to go into gear again, and then it's like really rough. But all you have to do is keep it in second gear, brake a bit, make your turn, and then carry on. And then if you need one, then you go into one. Yeah. But a lot of times you're coming out of gear unnecessarily. It's not that it's you get a fault for it, but it's just making your drive more difficult and more rough than it needs to be.
More decisions to make.
And then you're giving yourself more work to do. Yeah. And then it's like you're doing this and that, and it just feels like a lot is going on. Yeah. So from my professional opinion, I recommend you get way more lessons before you go for your next test.
That's what I reckon too.
Yeah. Because I don't know how many lessons you've had, but this needs to be. You need to improve the way you're turning. You need to kind of be a bit more relaxed, so just be a bit more comfortable in terms of your driving, because it doesn't feel like you're that confident right now. If that makes sense. I don't want to. I don't want to like shatter your confidence or anything like that. But just from my own, from my own opinion, you should do a bit more practice so that you can then be a bit more chilled, because you're driving in a way that's not relaxed, and then it's coming out and you're driving like it's really rough, and then you're making like rash decisions, like braking hard and making turns. If you're driving for a while, you don't do those kind of things. If you miss a turn, you just okay. It's a lot smoother. If you're coming up to something, you already have a plan about it, but at the moment the foundation is there, but it needs to be a bit more polished. Okay. What I noticed as well is you're not looking like your peripheral vision. You're not using your peripheral vision enough. So like, let's say I'll give you an example. There'll be people about to cross 2 cars ahead, but then it's like it's catching you off guard. But if you're really looking properly, you'd have seen, okay, there's pedestrians about to cross. It's going to affect that car, then it's going to affect this car, then it's going to affect me. Yeah, but at the moment, it seems like you're only concentrating on the car right in front of you, and then things are happening, even though you should have seen them, they're kind of catching you off guard. The examiner will see that as well. They can see, he should have responded to that, and then it's just kind of forms a picture of like the level you're at. Do you know what I mean? So just a bit more practice, because the foundation is there. You just need to work a bit more on being smooth. Think more about safety rather than like following instructions, if that makes sense. Going the wrong way or turning or missing a turn is fine, as long as you like do it safely. Because at the moment it feels like I need to make this turn, otherwise I'll fail. That's how you will fail if you do that. If you miss a turn, that's fine, just carry on to the next turn.
Got it. But this was an eye-opener.
I like to be honest with my things.
Absolutely.
So
like if not, then there is no way.
There's no point. There's no point, because I didn't know what kind of style you're going to be driving. So, but you did get like, I'm a bit harsh, but you would have got these as well.
So I know what to work on now.
Definitely. You're braking when it comes to turns, because you're driving in a way that's a bit unpredictable, especially for people behind you. Remember, people behind you need to know or kind of expect what you're going to do. And then at the moment, it's not really gelling. Like the way you're turning is not what people expect, especially the slowing down a lot before you turn. You work on your speed as well, sometimes, especially on the dual carriageway, sometimes too slow. If you see a speed limit, if it's going higher, don't go the high speed before the sign. So if let's say you're in a 20 and you're going into a 30, stay at 20, go past it and then start building up your speed. If you're going from a 30 to a 20, slow down before you get to the 20, so that when you go past the 20, you're already doing 20 or less. Yeah. Also, don't be afraid to ask the examiner questions as well if you're not sure, but ask it early on. Yeah. They won't tell you what the speed limit on the road is and stuff like that, but just if you're not sure about something, just ask, and they might be able to help you.
Got it.
Yeah. But I'll definitely do a bit more practice before your next. You said it's the end of the month, right?
Yeah.
Just bang in the lessons, especially around here, and work on looking a bit more around on the outside, so that you have a bit more awareness of what's going on around you. Yeah. So that's it. Do you think that's fair?
Yeah, that is absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
looking forward to see the video and kind of analyze.
Yeah. It's good. Sometimes people don't see until they've actually seen themselves from a like different perspective.
Yeah, I'll realize.
And then they're like, oh, okay, I need to work on that. I need to work on this. So guys, thanks so much for watching. If you want to do your mock test as well, make sure you contact me using these details just there. Thank you, Ganesh, for joining me.
Thank you.
Guys, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Bye.